Alec, coming into season 2 of Invasion, what were some of the challenges? Because this season you're directing 4 episodes in the series. What were some of the challenges coming in? Because it's such a complex, such a great story, and visually it just looks pristine.
Um, well, challenges were, excuse me, to be able to set some worlds apart. Like
Mhm.
we have a storyline in the UK that one storyline. We have a storyline in British Columbia. We have a storyline in Brazil. We have a storyline in UK in the United States. Um, so challenges were really to set them kind of like visually apart.
Mhm.
And the only country we shot that was different from our actual set, um, which was in Cape Town, South Africa, was the UK. We shot the UK portion separately in London, and whatever studio that was supporting us there. Um, and the rest was shot in Cape Town. So for us, the challenge was to find locations that spoke different um, geographical areas, so to speak. To find British Columbia in Cape Town, or to find Oklahoma in Cape Town, to find Brazil and um, in the areas around Cape Town. It was challenging, but we owe a um, great credit to our production designer Simon Rogers, who was able to uh, find uh, and resolve all those challenges with his location team. And when he presented to me all of this stuff with the concept art, which I kicked back to Simon Kinberg, we all were excited to find everything that we need to find and um, approve it, and the rest became sort of like logistical operation.
Yeah. After watching season 1 and season 2 and watching some episodes from season 2, I'm just like you telling me that a lot of it was shot in South Africa. I mean, that it looks so big and so wide. It's almost on a movie scale. Is that something that you, when you get in front behind the camera, that you want to bring to the show, is like give it that feel, like it's so expansive, so large, and the story
Absolutely,
just stays narrow?
absolutely, Michael. To In order for it to feel cinematic, you need
Mhm.
to introduce the scope,
Yeah.
and with it comes the language of um, visuals. Really, I mean, you need to set up the shots, and you need to understand what you're going to put into those shots. And so you discuss with your team what sort of lenses you're going to use, what are the margins, where does this world begins and where does it not,
Yeah.
and is the camera going to be sweeping, is it something that we need to address um, with production design, with set dressing, with elements of special visual effects, with um, special effects, and so forth. So each particular shot represents its own challenge. But you set it up, you look through the finder, you find your compositions, you arrange the blocking. You feel that it's dramatically working. You're doing it shot by shot by shot by shot, and then you don't realize of the scope until after you're looking at every shot, and you go like, "Oh, this is looking big, and this looking good, and this looking like this," and then so you kick it to the editor, and he puts an out. He basically uh, gives you the string out of the shot of this material that you shot, let's say the week prior. You look at it and you go like, I think we did good. I think it's working. And so one by one, little by little, you're basically putting it all together. And then once you see the big, uh, um, let's say, bigger timeline of, let's say, the first act, you go like, oh, okay, this is working. This is going in the right direction.
Mhm. And working, like having this on Apple TV Plus, I really see like they're willing to take chances on stories that are very different with large scopes, looking pristine, things that you could literally throw up on a movie screen very easily. How was it for you to be able to get on a streaming platform that allows that much openness and to be able to do that creativity that and the vision of what the creators are looking for?
Oh, it's amazing. Apple TV Plus doesn't put brakes in your wheels, or you like doesn't put sticks in your spokes. Uh, they're encouraging. They allow you to express yourself and to. I mean, what's happening is that you have a great material to begin with on page in a script
Mhm.
form, and then you discuss it and work very closely with Simon Kinberg. And so Simon is very encouraging in his approach in opening the show and opening the scale and opening the scope. uh, um, Apple is very, very supportive in what we needed to do and what we want to do. And so you don't feel pinched. You just feel like you're there to do your best, and you're being supported by it.
Yeah, and it shows on the television screen very easily. I must talk about your cinematographers because they are so amazing. Every shot is pulls you in. It has such a great look and a great feel. Tell me a little bit about your cinematographers that you chose for your episodes.
Uh, I worked with. We have three. We had three cinematographers on um, season two. We had Gavin Struthers. Um, we had Tom Burstein. Um, the thing about cinematography is it's not something new to me. I come as a from background as director of photography. I worked for over 25 years as director of photography. So designing the shots, designing cinematography part of it is very much the language I'm very comfortable with. So when we discuss with cinematographers what that language is, uh, we discuss lenses, we discuss lighting, we discuss the approach, the spatial dynamic, we discuss uh, the correctness uh, of the setting up the shot.
Mhm.
For me, very important element in a frame is the aesthetic element. I don't want it to feel like point and shoot. I want it to feel designed,
Yeah.
right? And very often, I tell my boys and girls, guys, two people to think about when we set up this shot: Stanley Kubrick, David Fincher, right?
Mhm.
So let's set it up. I want the verticals to be vertical. I want the frame to speak its own. I want it to have pictorial element, and I want it to have aesthetic element.
Mhm.
Okay, what I'd like to do is put the camera here, and let's work on that, and let's come up with a shot that we can all be proud of it, right? And so I don't dictate it. I propose it. I set up the camera where it needs to be, in my opinion, set up, and then let Gavin or Tom or to basically extrapolate on that and let them have their own, and let them speak with their crew, and let them also bring their own.
Awesome. Alec, thank you so much for stopping with us. Really appreciate it. Being a camera guy who learned off of film and now is in digital, I love hearing those stories about how you work with your cinematographers to get the best shot possible. So August 23rd, Invasion comes out on Apple TV Plus. Don't forget to watch it. Thank you again, Alec.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.